Welcome everybody to a look at the 10th and final film in the Furious Swords and Fantastic Warriors box set from Eureka, and it is 1976's the new Shaolin boxers. Hope you can see that. And yeah, martial arts film, clocking in at 100 minutes long. Stars once again the likes of Alexander Fusheng, who was in Men from the Monastery and Shaolin martial arts from this box set, as well as Jenny Seng, who was in Chinatown Kid and Boxer Rebellion. Johnny Wang Lung-Wei, who was I've seen in 22 other films now. He was also in Shaolin martial arts. And finally, Lu Tai, who was in Men from the Monastery, Shaolin martial arts, and Iron Bodyguard from this release as well. So, an honourable carriage driver finds love and death when he battles particularly homicidal street punks. So, although this does end in a satisfying, gutsy, and quite bloody way, the rest of this is far from original, unfortunately. This is due to our lead character being a competent enough fighter that is no match for the main villain, so he has to go on a training regime to eventually be good enough to fight the main antagonist, which quite frankly has been done hundreds of times before, and this unfortunately also does little outside of its ending to help set itself apart. So yeah, we've seen that thing before. Training montages is even carrying two massive pots of water up a load of stairs. It's all been there and done that before, to be honest. And yeah, unfortunately, I feel like that is the main detriment to this film is just its lack of originality. But that said, despite this being far from original, it is nonetheless an engaging and enough of an effort thanks to the good cast, solid pacing, great fight scenes with really rather good choreography throughout, a decent amount of violence, on point cinematography, and effective production value. But like I said, it is the lack of originality that does ultimately harm this from being any better. So it gets a 3.5 out of 5. Not the worst score I've given from any film in this release, but far from the best either. So yeah, like all 9 other films on this release, it does have a 1080p HD presentation. And yeah, we also have optional English subtitles, newly revised for this release, as well as optional English dub for this film as well, which we didn't have with the previous film. And we also get a new audio commentary on the film by East Asian film expert Frank Yang and martial artist and filmmaker Michael Worth. So yeah, that's the only extra for this film in particular. So yeah, that's the end of this box set. 10 films, making Chang Chen now my most popular director on my letterbox profile overall, beating Alfred Hitchcock, Ishiro Honda, and Roger Corman, who were all joint first place with 25 films each, but now Chang Chair's on 27. So, yeah, he's definitely now become my most popular director. Probably not my absolute favourite director by any means, especially since a few of these films in this release weren't particularly great, but still one that is become more and more prolific in my collection overall. So yeah, in terms of the rankings of these films, we're going to go from bottom to top. So in last place is The Weird Man. Just didn't find that all that engaging or particularly great in a lot of ways, unfortunately, especially with that romance element that just felt entirely tacked on. Then in ninth place, we have Shaolin Martial Arts. Decent enough effort, but had more problems than the previous film. Then in eighth place, we have The Fantastic Magic Baby. A really, really solid hour and 5 minute film, but it is only ultimately only a very short film, and therefore it just doesn't feel like it's got a lot going for it. Great production value, really interesting characters, excellent fight scenes, and I like the kind of Chinese opera style it's got going for it. But yeah, the fact it's barely an hour long and then has a tacked on half hour or so of real life Chinese opera makes it just feel like a really rather cheap cash in, to be honest. Then in seventh, we have the film we've just reviewed now, the new Shaolin Boxers, which is despite the fact that the title makes no sense at all because there is only one new Shaolin Boxer, not more than one. Then in sixth place, we have Men from the Monastery, the first film in this set. Fairly solid film, but again, like new Shaolin Boxers, not particularly remarkable or overly original. And then we get into the top five, Trilogy of Swordsmanship, a really, really rather entertaining anthology film. I've not seen, like I said in my review of that, many anthology films that are outside of the horror genre, whereas that, two-thirds of that, because there are three stories, is excellent. The first story is a little bit on the weaker side of things, but it's still entertaining enough, and it is at least the shortest of the three. And then we in fourth place we have The Wandering Swordsman, a bit more light-hearted than previous films in this box set. But the lead, I think it's David Chang, is excellent. He's just sort of thoroughly charming, and yeah, just a really engaging story and solid action scenes. Then in third place we have The Iron Bodyguard, a bit more talky than the other ones, but I like it for that. It's something a little bit different, and I think it pulled off the fact that it has a lot of political wranglings in there. And then second, one of only two that gets 4.5 out of 5, and that is The Trail of the Broken Blade. Yeah, just a sensational effort, to be honest, throughout. And King Eagle, although to be honest, I think I could swap the first place or second place with King Eagle and The Trail of Broken Blade. They are both 4.5 stars. They are both excellent, and definitely have ranked up there with my overall favourites from Chang Chair. So yeah, King Eagle does ultimately get the first place spot. It's just the one that has lingered in my mind a little bit more, and it was the first of this box set to actually get that score. So yeah, those two are excellent, and them two are what ultimately save this box set. Yes, Iron Bodyguard, Wandering Swordsman, and Trilogy of Swordsmanship also got 4 out of 5, but the other 5 films got 3.5 or less, and the last two only got 3 out of 5. So yeah, but the box set overall gets 4 out of 5. It is overall pretty damn good, and considering there are 10 films in this, it could have been a lot more disastrous in terms of the general quality over the course of those 10 films. Could have very easily just had 2 or 3 that were any good, and then the rest of them are barely average. But that is not the case. Half of this box set is really great, and then, you know, 2 of the over 5 are solid, and then the final 3 are a little bit underwhelming, to be honest. So yeah, but overall, a really, really solid box set, and one that I do highly recommend getting, even though, again, I state I have issues with the quality of the physical aspects of this, with the box not being a bit particularly great. I wish it was a hard box, and I wish these films had a bit more of their own individual artwork as well, because they unfortunately do not either. So yeah, it could have easily been a much more nice thing to own physically, but as far as the films go, most of them are pretty good. So yeah, highly recommend it if you've not got the box set already. And if you have seen any of these films, and particularly the new Shaolin boxes that we just reviewed today, then I'd like to hear your thoughts on them. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.